Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga. We are semi-live tonight because we're taking our staycation down in Killarney. So I'm recording this on Thursday, the day before. Hope you enjoy what I've put together for us today. As ever, throughout the practice, listen to your body. Only do what feels right for you today in this moment. Don't over push it. You can challenge yourself, but don't push yourself over the edge. Okay, let's get going. And we'll start lying down. Just finding yourself a nice, comfortable position on the mat to start with. As you begin to move into the present moment, setting aside everything that's going on in your life and in the world. Leave it all outside the door and give yourself permission to completely slow down and to move into the present. Your only concern is the now. And to bring yourself into this moment, just let your attention move to your connection points with the mat. Your heels and the mat. Your calves and the mat. The backs of your thighs and your glutes. Back of your pelvis, back of your rib cage, your shoulder blades, and the mat, the back of your head and the mat, your arms and the mat, just allowing the mat to hold you here. Let the mat carry you securely. Just yield yourself to it. And allow your attention to move to your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Allowing that belly to fill on the inhale and to empty on the exhale. And noticing how your body moves around it, how your breath moves you. And just allow your palms to turn upwards, with the fingers just gently curled inward. And on your next inhale, allow those fingers to open out, just gently open out. And to curl back in with the exhale. Just having that small movement in your fingers in time with your breath. Taking 2 more breaths like that. And then coming to stillness. And when you're ready, bending your knees, letting your feet come onto the mat. And from here, just hug your knees into your chest and give your back a little massage. So whatever way your body is suggesting to you here, maybe it's forward and back, maybe it's side to side, or maybe it's in a circle. Listen to your own body and what it suggests. And then when you're ready, coming to stillness here, and let's point the toes away, still keeping the knees hugged into the chest, pointing the toes away, and then bringing them forward, so you're flexing your feet, pushing your heels away, pointing the toes, pushing the heels, pointing the toes, pushing the heels. Twice more. And coming to stillness, let's just begin to circle those ankles one way and then the other. And letting those feet just come down to the earth. Let's take that right leg and cross it over the left leg. So just allow your right leg to be just beyond the ankle joint. So it's the bottom part of your leg, so that you can flex the foot. And you can stay here like this and think about pushing the knee a little bit away from your center. Or if you'd like a little bit more on the hips, you can lift your your left leg up off the floor. And you can stay like this, or if you wish, you can begin to bring that left leg in closer to you, feeling what that does to your right hip. Keeping both feet flexed. One more breath here. Letting the left foot come to the earth. Let's just swap that over to the other side. So again, your choice here, flexing that left foot, pushing the knee away from your center, staying here, or lifting that right foot up, flexing the right foot as well, staying here, or drawing that right leg in towards your chest. And wherever you are, taking 3 more breaths here. Allow your breath to move to any areas of tightness, tension. Good, one more breath. And letting that foot come to the floor, and let's just roll over onto our side. So onto your left side, having the shins of your legs on the long side, parallel to the long side of the mat, your thighs parallel to the short side, and putting both palms, arms out, palms on top of each other. And we're just going to raise that right arm all the way up, bringing it across, following it with your gaze. And bring it back. Let's just link that with the breath now. So inhaling, all the way open, exhaling, all the way back 3 more times. Good. Let's take that over to the other side. So again, just lining up the shins with the long side, the thighs with the short side, arms out in front of you, palms touching, and bringing that left hand over. And back, syncing with the breath. 3 more times. Allowing the breath to help you with this movement, to make it nice and smooth. And coming all the way back. Good, and from here just rolling on over to come onto all fours if you're facing backwards on your mat. You can always just turn around to come to the front again. And from here, opening those fingers out nice and wide, almost clawing into the mat there with your fingers, curling those toes, pushing the hips back. We're going to come up into a dog nice and slowly. So coming up to where works for you, knees bent, heels up off the floor, slowly pedaling it out, just to your point, wherever your point is. What we really want here is that nice long spine, pushing the hips towards the back of the mat. Having your gaze towards your belly button so your ears are touching your arms. If your shoulders are up around your ears, think about just rounding your elbows down so they're almost pointing towards the floor. It'll just open out those shoulders a little bit more. And come to your point of stillness, wherever that is. And we're going to just walk the feet up to meet the hands at the top of the mat. So we're in a forward fold. And again, have your knees here bent as much as you need to, especially if you've got lower back problems. You want to keep your knees bent. Think about it when you're forward and your legs are straight, you're pulling on your pelvis. Your hamstrings are pulling your pelvis down, which is going to hurt your lower back more. So keep those knees bent if you've got lower back pain. And wherever you are in this, just bring the breath into it. So as you inhale, find length in that spine. And as you exhale, go a little deeper into the forward fold. That deeper, if your knees are bent, just means your chest getting a little bit closer to your thighs. Good, 2 more breaths here. Lovely, and wherever you are, bend those knees to make your way up to standing. Good. And from here, let's just bring in a little swing into it. So our upper body gets to begin to move a bit. Just allowing the momentum to take over. As you hit yourself. And then slowing it down and coming to stillness. And with your head, let's just let your ear fall over towards your right shoulder and allow the head to roll around to the left and then to roll back around to the right and to the left and to the right. Coming up tall. Good. And just making your way to the top of the mat. Checking down on your feet. Are they in a nice straight line? Equal weight spread across the feet. Big toes pressing into the mat. Let's just have a look here. Look down at your feet. And now begin to press the big toe in to the mat and watch how the arches of your feet rise. And watch what happens when the arches of your feet rise. everything just moves into really nice alignment. So that's why I always say, press your big toes into the mat. And from here, just finding space. So open your palms towards the front of the room, towards the front of the mat. Standing up tall here, nice open chest. And like we did at the beginning, as you inhale, allow the arms to just drift out a little bit. And as you exhale, allow them to drift back towards your center. We're going to take 3 breaths like that. And one more thing to remember in your breath, as you exhale, think about lifting your pelvic floor and bringing that belly button in and up. So let's try 3 of those. Good. And bringing the hands into prayer at heart center. Let's run through a couple of sun salutes. So raising the arms up over the head. Let's sweep down into a forward fold, bending those knees as you come down. And halfway lift. Keeping the gaze on the mat in front of you. Forward fold. Let's step that right leg back as far back as it can go, dropping the knee, open the foot. And come up into your low lunge, raising the gaze to the ceiling, shoulders soft. And hands down either side of the foot, stepping it back into a plank. Keeping your heels over your toes here, a little micro bend in the elbow. Let's take a round of breath here. And coming down through knees, feet, chest, elbows in as you come down. Roll through into a little cobra, little back bend with that gaze still on the floor or the mat, pushing up through tabletop. Adjust your hands if you need to, and make your way up into your downward dog. And from here, we want to get that right foot up to the top of the mat by whatever means works for you today. Carry it, come through all fours, lift it straight through, your choice. And let that back knee come to the floor as we come into our low lunge. Hands down either side of the foot. Step that back foot up to meet the front. Bend the knees to come all the way up. Good. Let's take that on the other side. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Left leg back into your low lunge. Draw an arc with your nose into a back bend. Good. And stepping it back into your plank for a round of breath. And coming down, knees, feet, chest, cobra, up through tabletop, into your downward dog. And stepping that left foot up to the front. For your low lunge on this side. And back foot up to meet the front, bending the knees. Coming all the way up, good stuff. Let's take that again on each side. Arms up, forward fold. Halfway lift, nice long spine. Forward fold, right leg back. Rising up. And hands down to step back into your plank. Coming down through knees, feet, chest, cobra, and into your dog. And let's get that right foot up to the top for a low lunge. And step the back foot up, coming all the way up to stand. Good. Last side. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, left leg back.
And into your plank. Coming down. And up through tabletop to your dog. Left foot up to the top. And stepping the right foot up to meet the left.
Bend those knees. Coming all the way up. Good. Hopefully you're feeling nicely warmed up and loosened up. Let's from here stand on the long side of the mat with our legs about just wider than shoulder width. So it's not mad wide, just a little bit wider than shoulder width. And let's here just stand up really tall, keeping that spine nice and long. Putting your hands on your hips, drawing your elbows back so we open the chest. Lovely. From here, we're going to bend forward with the chest. And we want the hips we want to bend from the hips. So this crease here, we want to close as we come forward. Good. And from here, let's take this right hand and touch your left toe. So if you've got difficulty doing that, of course, bend your knees as much as you need to. Good. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. And let's raise that left hand up. Good. Bend those knees. Coming all the way up. Let's take that to the other side. So we're letting the left hand touch the right foot, bringing that right hand up. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Good. And bending those knees. And coming all the way up. Bringing the arms around and stepping it up to the top of the mat as we reach up in the air, forward fold. And from here, we're going to step back into our downward dog. Good. Finding your point of stillness. And let's step this right foot forward. Keeping the right knee bent, we're going to make our way up to stand up tall. Now straighten that right leg. We're going to just bend halfway. You can stay here. If you're finding that hard on the leg, of course, bend the knee. Or you can bring your arms out. Good. Keeping that gaze on the mat. Softening the shoulders. Allowing the attention to stay with the breath. One more breath. Bring the arms out to the side. Bend this right knee. Let's step the left leg back a little bit so we hover into our airplane here. We want to keep that right knee over the ankle. Two more breaths. Allowing your breath to go anywhere there's tightness or tension. And then from here, rising up into your warrior one. Of course, narrow the stance if you need to. Keeping the shoulders soft, allowing the gaze to look up to the ceiling. 2 more breaths here. Remembering as you exhale, lift that pelvic floor. Bring the belly button in and up. And bringing your hands into prayer and heart center. We're going to hop that back foot forward as we come into a half warrior 3. So we're just going to raise that back leg up. Find a gaze point. Good, 1 more breath. And with great control, allowing that back leg to come down. Let's raise the arms up into our warrior 1 once again. And bring the arms out to the side for our airplane. Keeping that knee bent. Good. Gaze on the mat. Straightening that front leg. Clasping the hands together as we come into a half fold. Lovely, bending that front knee, bring the hands onto the floor, stepping back into your downward dog. Good, 2 more breaths here. And we're going to take that left foot and bring it up to the front of the mat. We want to be able to keep both feet flat on the floor. Bend that left knee as you stand up and then straighten the leg. Let's bend forward from the hips, chest coming halfway, and then bringing those hands out in front of you. Good, we're going to take 3 breaths here. Bend that knee if you need to. Direct your breath into any areas that need a bit of attention. Bending that left knee so it comes directly over the ankle. Opening the arms out, allowing the chest to come a little closer to the floor for your airplane. Gaze stays on the floor. And as you're inhaling, thinking about finding length in that spine. You've got a great opportunity here to find some extra space. Good. And then letting the body rise up with the arms into your warrior 1. Keeping the shoulders soft. Equal weight in both feet. Gaze up to the ceiling, so you're getting a little back bend as well. 1 more breath. Good, bringing those hands down into prayer. Let that back foot hop forward as you shift the weight into the left foot and raise the right leg up. Find a gaze point. One more breath. And letting that back leg come down as you come into a warrior 1. On the way down, soft shoulders, equal weight on both feet, hips nice and square. Good, arms out to the side, bending forward into your airplane. Remembering on that exhale, lift the pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Good, straightening that front leg, bringing the arms in front of you, clasping them. Lovely. And bending that front knee, letting both hands come down onto the floor, stepping back
into your downward dog. Nice long spine. And just bending those knees, letting the hips come back. Take a little rest. Two more breaths here. And letting yourself come up into tabletop. And curling those toes, pushing the hips back as we come back up into our downward dog once more. Good. From here, we're going to step that right leg forward. We're going to make our way up to start with. And this time, rather than coming halfway down, we're going to allow ourselves to fold a little bit further forward, so allowing our chest to come close to that thigh. Let the hands come down. Of course, bend your knees as much as you need to, and definitely don't lock the knees. So always have a little micro bend in them. Breathing here. Directing your breath into anywhere that needs it. As you exhale, lifting that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. And clasping the hands behind your back, just let them come over your head for a slightly more intense stretch. Good, letting the hands come down either side of the foot, stepping it back into your downward dog for 3 breaths. Finding length in the spine here. Pushing the hips back towards the back of the mat. Keeping that gaze at your belly button. Nice long spine. Lovely. Let's get that left foot now up to the top of the mat. Equal weight on both feet. Rising up, tall to start with. And beginning then to fold forward. This time continuing the journey past halfway to all the way down, letting the hands come to the floor. Keeping that equal weight on both feet. Be sure to bend your knee as much as you need to. And use your breath. Once you're in the pose, forget about the pose and let your attention move to your breath. Lovely. Letting those hands then come behind the back, clasping them, bringing them a little deeper. Really good. One more breath. And unclasping the hands, bringing both hands in front of you as you step back into your downward dog. And that's pretty much almost all of our standing poses done. One more breath here. And let's just walk the feet up to the top of the mat. Bring the toes together, heels a little bit apart so your feet are in a nice straight line. Bend your knees, sitting your seat down into your chair pose. Good. Here you got a choice. Put your hands on your hips. See how they level. Bring your hands into prayer. Or raise the arms up over the head. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then now we're going to continue, let the arms come down, continue our journey all the way down into a squat. You may want to come up onto your heels. That's absolutely fine. Or you may want to just let your feet step out a little bit and let your toes come out. And then you might be able to sit down a little more into the squat. Think about finding a nice long spine here. Bringing the hands together in prayer so your arms can move into your legs and your legs can press against your arms. And in this pose, as you're exhaling, remember, lift that pelvic floor. Bring the belly button in and up. And one more breath. Letting the hands come down. You're just going to step it, whoops, without bringing the mat with you, all the way back to lie down on your tummy. Let me just fix my mic. And put one arm on top of the other for what we call a crocodile pose. Notice that it's a really comfortable pose, but it's also bringing in a little mini back bend here. A supported back bend. Connecting with your breath here. And then letting those arms come down. Let's just leave that left arm up, pointing out in front of you. Bend your right leg and hold on to it if you can with your right hand. So if you can't reach it, don't worry about it. That's not a problem. Just put your right hand beside your chest and lift that right leg up off the floor with the knee bent. If you're holding on to the ankle, you can push that foot in against the hand and the hand against the foot for a little bit of leverage. Engaging the core here. One more breath. And letting that leg come down. Open out. Let's just swap the arms around. So either with the hand beside your chest, bending that knee, lifting the leg up, or holding on to it with your hand and lifting it up. One more breath. And letting it come down. Letting both hands out, arms out, extended. And bringing both hands beside your chest, getting those elbows in. Just pay attention to your shoulders here. Let your elbows flop out for a minute. Notice where your shoulders are. It opens your shoulders. Bring your elbows in. It just helps everything stay in place so your shoulders stay nice and stable as you move up and down. So from here, we're going to come into a cobra. So keep your hands fairly light on the mat. what you really want to be doing is using your back muscles and your core to help you come up here. And lowering down, keeping the gaze on the mat. The temptation is always to look out in front. Try to keep the gaze on the mat so your spine is in a nice straight line all the way from the crown of your head to your tail. And coming down. And once more coming up. Staying up here and turning your gaze towards your feet. Good. And coming down. And we're going to lift up and look over our shoulder in the opposite direction. So towards your feet from the other side. Good. One more breath. And lowering it all the way down. Good. And from here, let's just push it all the way up and come to a staff pose. Sitting up tall, check in with those seat bones. Have you got equal weight on both seat bones? Nice long spine. You've really been giving it a lot of elongation this evening, so hopefully you've got lots of space created there. Let the hands go either side of the hips, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Good, 2 more breaths here. And let's just bend up this right leg and lift it up. So we're holding on to the foot and it's like we've got a little baby in our arms. Giving it a little rock. Rock-a-bye baby. Brings back memories. Sitting up tall and then coming to stillness. Just breathing into your hips and knees here. Keeping those shoulders over the hips. Good. Letting that foot come down on the other side of your left leg. And taking the left arm, putting it onto the back of that right leg. Good. And as you're taking a twist here, think about inhaling to find length, exhaling to go a little deeper into the twist. Good. Now let's see, can you bend this left leg? So bring that up behind you and keep that right leg over it to help you get a little bit more of a twist. Good, one more breath. And making your way back to the center. Let's just take that over to the other side. So lifting up that left leg, giving it a little rock. And then coming to stillness, keeping that spine nice and long. Good. One more breath here. And then letting that foot just come down on the outside of the right leg. Putting that right elbow onto the back of the left leg for a twist. Good. Again, remembering As you inhale, find that length. As you exhale, go a little deeper. Super. One more breath. And then let's bend in this right leg. And keep this twist. So we're almost tied up in a little knot. Good. One more breath here. And straightening it up. Letting that left leg stay out long, keeping that right leg in, so the right foot is in at your left thigh, sitting up tall here. Let's just bend that left leg and grab onto the foot, onto the toe. You can use your fingers, your peace fingers and your thumb if you want to hold onto it. And then lifting it up. Good, trying not to lean back. So sitting up tall. Remembering on that exhale, lift that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Lovely, letting that foot come all the way down and all the way into your right leg. And bending the knee of that right leg to grab the foot and lifting it all the way. Good, and no problem to have that knee as bent as you need to here. Listen to your body. Sitting up tall. One more breath. And allowing that foot to come down, both legs to come out long once more, sitting up nice and tall. Bend the knees a little bit as we come forward into a forward fold here. Holding on to the feet if you can. You can begin to walk them out if that works for you. As we come nice and long again, inhaling, finding that length, exhaling, going deeper. Good. And making your way all the way up, bending those knees and lowering yourself down onto the mat for your final resting pose of Shavasana. Palms facing upwards, feet just falling out to the side. Let me take this moment while you're getting yourself ready to thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed that practice. We're back here again live on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. We'd love to have you with us. Patrons, of course, can access our practices at any time. And we have a few little bonus practices we drop in every now and then as well. So I will bid you namaste at this point as I invite you to just let go. Give your body this time to learn the lessons from the practice, for it to integrate into the muscles, and for everything to slow right down. Let go your toes. Let go the soles of your feet and the tops of your feet. Let go your shins and calves, knees, thighs, front and back, the whole of your legs. Just let them go. Let go your glutes, your whole pelvic area, the small of your back, your belly, your rib cage, back and front. Let go your chest and your shoulder blades. The whole of your torso, just let it go. Let go your armpits, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, backs of the hands and fingers. The whole of your arms, just let them go. Let go the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips and tongue. Just let it all go. Let your attention move here to your breath. As you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. And filling your heart with gratitude with every breath. Gratitude to yourself, gratitude to everybody practicing together, and for everything that you have to be grateful for in your life today. And as you inhale, let your heart fill with that gratitude. And as you exhale, let that gratitude spread throughout your body, throughout the room and beyond. Inhale, filling the heart with gratitude. Exhale, spreading the gratitude out.